There comes a moment, often late at night, when the noise becomes unbearable. Not the noise outside, not the traffic, not the voices, not the city, but the noise within. A constant hum of self-criticism, worry, and regret. The mind once meant to guide you becomes the very storm you wish to escape. You replay old mistakes like a broken film reel, imagining what you should have said, what you should have done differently. You think forward, forecasting disasters that may never come, and between the past and the future, your present collapses into fog. We live in an age of overstimulation, too many voices, too many comparisons, too much input. But the Stoics faced the same inner chaos centuries before screens and notifications. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor who ruled one of history's most powerful empires, wrote quietly to himself, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." He did not say the number of your thoughts or the positivity of them, but their quality. And this is where the journey begins. Today we will walk into the noise together. We will not silence the mind by force. We will understand it, and in understanding, clear it. We will explore why thoughts control us, how to detach from them, and how to return to that timeless Stoic clarity that turns chaos into calm. Take a breath. This is not self-help. This is self-command. Part 1. Awareness, realization. Before you can clear your mind, you must first understand what clouds it. Negative thoughts do not appear out of nowhere. They are echoes of fear, patterns of judgment, and remnants of attachment. Modern psychology calls them cognitive loops, cycles where the brain confuses imagination with danger. The Stoics saw the same thing long before science did. They called it fantasia, the illusion created by thought. Picture your mind as a vast sky. Thoughts are passing clouds, some dark, some light. But most people mistake themselves for the weather, when in truth they are the sky itself. They identify with every cloud that drifts by. A harsh comment from a stranger, a memory of failure, a glimpse of someone else's success, and instantly the sky darkens. You begin to believe the clouds are you. Epictetus, once a slave turned philosopher, wrote, "It's not things that disturb us but our judgments about them." The thought itself is not the enemy, it's your belief in it that causes suffering. Awareness is the first act of liberation. The moment you observe a thought without immediately reacting, you weaken its grip. When you realize this is just a thought, you step back into control. But awareness requires courage, because to observe without judgment means facing your mind without defense. It means standing still in the storm and seeing it clearly. And yet, this is where clarity begins. In observation, not avoidance. In patience, not panic. Every time you choose to see, rather than be swept away, the sky clears a little more. Part 2. Letting go, transformation begins. Most people suffer twice, once in reality and once in imagination. The first is inevitable, the second is self-created. The Stoics called this unnecessary suffering, the product of attachment, clinging to how things should be instead of accepting what is. Imagine holding a rope in your hand. You grip it tightly as it drags along the ground, scraping your skin. You could let go, but you tell yourself you can't, because what if you fall? What if letting go means losing control? But the truth is the opposite. It's the gripping that causes pain. The moment you release, the bleeding stops. We hold on to negative thoughts the same way, believing that replaying them somehow protects us. We analyze, reanalyze, and justify our pain. We treat every mental wound like a puzzle to be solved, rather than a flame to be allowed to burn out. Seneca once wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." He was not dismissing pain, he was revealing its illusion. You cannot stop waves from forming, but you can stop yourself from swimming against them. Letting go does not mean indifference. It means faith in your ability to face life as it is. It means allowing reality to move through you without resistance. You will notice something profound the moment you stop feeding a thought. It weakens. Starved of your attention, it dissolves naturally. The storm always passes when you stop chasing it. That is the first transformation, from control to surrender, from tension to trust. The rope falls, the sky clears, and peace begins to breathe again. Part 3. Confronting the inner voice. Once awareness and letting go begin, a deeper challenge emerges. The voice inside you. The critic, the whisper that says you're not enough or you always fail. That inner echo can be sharper than any insult the world offers. Psychology calls it the inner critic. Stoicism called it the undisciplined mind. Both describe the same thing, a voice mistaken for truth. But this voice is not your enemy, it is your training ground. Imagine your mind as a courtroom. The critic is loud, emotional, persuasive. It argues that you're unworthy, that you've wasted time, that others are better. The Stoic philosopher is quiet, calm, rational. It listens. It does not argue emotionally, it simply asks, is this true? Most thoughts lose their power under that question, because negativity thrives in reaction, not in reason. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." The critic's words only stain you if you let them sink in unexamined. You can listen to the voice without believing it. You can observe it as you would a stranger speaking nonsense in the street. Try this. When your mind whispers, "You can't do this," reply not with anger but curiosity. Ask, who is speaking? When you bring awareness to the voice, it begins to lose its face. You are not your thoughts. You are the awareness that hears them. And the moment you realize this, that the critic is just another passing cloud, you take your power back. Do not fight your mind. Outgrow it. Part 4. Stillness, Mastery. The Stoics, like the Buddhists of the East, believe that peace is not found by adding anything, but by removing what is unnecessary. Stillness is not the absence of movement, it is the presence of understanding. When you begin to detach from thought, stillness becomes possible. It is not an achievement, but a return, a homecoming to what you always were beneath the noise. Think of a lake. When the wind stops, the surface becomes so clear it reflects the sky perfectly. The water didn't create clarity, it revealed it by becoming still. The same is true for your mind. When the winds of judgment and fear calm, reflection becomes natural. Epictetus taught, freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. Stillness is that freedom, the freedom to experience without distortion. To practice it, try this exercise. Sit quietly. Breathe slowly. Do not force your mind to empty. Simply observe, one thought at a time. Watch it appear and let it go. You will notice that between every thought there is a space. That space is peace. It was there all along. In that stillness, fear dissolves. Not because the world has changed, but because you have. You become less reactive, more deliberate. Words hurt less. Chaos passes quicker. Decisions feel lighter. Stillness is not escape. It is strength disguised as calm. And in that quiet, you will rediscover your power. The power to remain unshaken while the world spins. Part 5. The Outer Reflection. When the mind clears, life follows. The outer world begins to mirror your inner one. A Stoic once said, "As within, so without." There is an old story of a craftsman in Athens who was known for his flawless pottery. When asked how he created such perfect bowls, he said, "Before I touch the clay, I still my mind. If I am calm, the bowl will be calm." His apprentices laughed, but over time they noticed something strange. When they worked with restless thoughts, their bowls cracked. When they worked in silence, they did not. This is the truth of existence. Everything you touch carries the fingerprint of your mind. Your relationships, your words, your choices, all reflect the state of your inner being. When your mind is clear, patience returns. You stop rushing into arguments. You start noticing beauty again. A quiet street after rain, the sound of your own breathing, the peace of enough. Clarity does not make you perfect. It makes you precise. It returns proportion to what matters and what doesn't. The Stoic life is not about suppressing emotion. It's about mastering perception. Seeing reality as it is, no longer tinted by the smoke of mental noise. When you master that, peace is not a goal. It becomes your natural state. At the end of every storm, there is silence. Not the silence of emptiness, but the silence of understanding. You will still have thoughts, you will still feel. But the difference is this, you will no longer drown in them. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." That is the Stoic secret. Peace is not given. It is remembered. Clear your mind not by force, but by awareness. Detach not by rejection, but by understanding. You are the sky, not the storm. What are your views on this? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I will personally read all of your comments. And if you seriously want to level up in life, don't forget to show some love by hitting the like and subscribe button. Stay strong. Until next time.